Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 59 of the Made of Things podcast. Made of Things in the podcast audio-only version. So, we've been away from the podcast for a while now, in terms of not being here on the posts. So, I guess on the posting aspect of it, well, that is mainly because I'm still struggling with back issues. National healthcare takes a long time. So, so I don't really feel like there's much going on in terms of me telling you stuff that's going on, really. So basically I've been staying at home and stuff, so and editing is kind of hard, so I have to do it with Nono, my sister, who does the photography for the show, which is mainly a YouTube show, as you might know if you're not listening to this on YouTube. If you're listening to this on iTunes, which is one of the reasons why we do the audio version, is to post for people who enjoy podcasts more than watching video. So main reason I'm posting this today, it's going to be a double post day. Because today, Vodafone Mesh Fest starts over here in Lisbon, and I'm going to try to make this quick. But even though whenever I say this, it ends up being like a 20-minute intro or something. But I'm trying to, it's been a year since we've spoken to the guests on today's episodes. The first one is going to be Howe Gelb of Giant Sand fame. They've been around for a long time. Forever. I think the first time I ever heard of Howe. No, I'll get to that in a bit. And the second one is going to be Sunflower Bean, and whom I love. So I think they're amazing, and we'll get to them on the next episode. But I wanted to do this because it's been a year, and the video episodes are already up, have been up for a while, and on YouTube, so go check those out if you'd rather watch than listen, or no, just watch and don't, just mute the videos. Just watch and don't listen. That's you'll be better off. I'm obviously I don't know. I don't know. Do whatever you want. If that's your thing, you can just watch videos and with silently, silent videos. Anyway. They're not necessarily silent. They're actively silent if you want them to be. Anyway, so Vodafone Mesh Fest is today. It's gonna be fun, I'm sure, and it always is a really good festival, and packed full of surprises. Either way. Okay, so last year we did Whitney, which has been up for since earlier in the year, really earlier, when I mean very early, and that was great, and we had very different episode types, I would say. Whitney was they were all kind of quiet, like all of them, I would say, but Whitney is the one where we had more laughs. Howe Gelb is the one that we had the most. It's hard to say though, because Sunflower Bean was a lot of fun, but still okay. But anyway, Howe Gelb, I should say something about Howe Gelb. Okay, so I've known Howe for going on 12 years. So actually no, 2005. So I've known Howe for going on 13 years, and he's a lovely guy. And but the thing is that when we approached him this time, and when we sat down to chat, he he's a quiet dude, and I do something on the show, which is I have this mode of putting myself into the show really fast, because the thing is, guys, that we most of the time we don't have a lot of time, because these are international guests and they don't have like an hour to speak to us, like to get into a mood. So oftentimes we have like 15 minutes, 20 minutes or something, and people don't necessarily know the sort of thing they're getting themselves into, but you know how I had like a very, very calm conversation with him like 12 years ago or something, and it's been a long time. It's been a long time, and so the thing is, because we have so little time, I've become very much adept at getting the ball rolling really quickly, if you know what I mean. Like, okay, so this is a show. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be fun for you as a guest, and not you. I mean, not you, who the listener, but for the guest, and it's supposed to be fun for the guest and for the listener, and consequently for the listener. So yeah, we try to make things fun, like naturally fun. We're not trying to push anything, but it's supposed to be an entertaining show. That's the difference of Made of Things regarding other interviews. Interview shows. So when I got into the conversation with Howe now a year ago, that you're going to listen to now, I started off really kind of jittery, and Meshfest is typically a festival that I go to on very little hours of sleep, so I drink a lot of coffee to compensate, and that makes me extra jittery. I'm already kind of furiously speaking all the time. But I can chill. So that's what I'm going to address now. Is that I start off on on a high energy level, and Howe is a very slow, methodical speaker, but not slow speaker, like more methodical and chill. He doesn't necessarily speak slowly, but yeah, calm and ponderate, and means what he says all the time, which I do as well. I'm just really fast, but sincerity all the time, guys. You have to be sincere, and so yeah, so the energy clash is very prevalent at the beginning. Like, I don't know, like 7 to 8 minutes into it, like Hal calls me out on it, and says like, Antonio, you should calm down and stuff. Like, Hal wanted to do like this from the get-go. Wanted to do like, I don't know, 5 minutes maybe, and we ended up speaking for like, I don't know, half an hour maybe, or 40 minutes or something, like much, just like way longer than it was supposed to. Supposed to be originally. So we just wanted to, catch up with him for a little, but then things turned out that when I adapted, Howe was much more comfortable. When I adapted my energy level to Howe's, which is something, as a pro I should do. So we did, and then I think it congealed, and we ended up spending much longer than we originally intended to. So, and it was really pleasant, and you can almost barely catch it. This is very egotistical of me, I would say, but in terms of, and I try not to be, and I don't think I am, but by the end, I say like, how, that was fun, right? Like, that was fun. We ended up, this was like 30 minutes longer than we expected, but it was fun, right? And he said, well, you're a talented kid or something. Like it was sweet, very sweet of Howe, a very sweet dude. And yeah, we speak about Giant Sand. I just seen them. Howe was playing with his own band at Meshfest, but they had just seen Giant Sand at Primavera that year, so a year ago, so a year and a half ago. So and then they played Glastonbury, which I watched online, and it was very different. So excuse the noise. I'm actually recording this close to my window because I can barely leave the house. So this gives me a sense that I've gone out because of my bad back. I'm getting surgery, guys. Most likely. So yeah. So it takes like a fucking year. God damn it. Okay, so here is Howe Gelb. I was supposed to do a 2-minute intro. I was supposed to do a 2-minute intro, but it's, as always, spread longer than it was supposed to be originally. So here it is, my conversation with Howe Gelb. And he's a bro, so yeah, enjoy. That should be like 15-20 minutes if you want. That's a little. Well, it's as long as you like, dude.
I don't have
That time.
that much to say. I don't have that much to say about anything.
We don't have. Sure, okay, this is fine. So salmon was on the menu, I guess. What's it like for you? Like everyone is having salmon. Did you enjoy your supper? This is after Howe's dinner. So was it a good meal?
I think you know the answer.
It was, well, I'm hoping it was good. Sometimes you never know.
It's a pretty safe bet.
Okay, cool.
Here in Portugal, anyway. The food, the wine, the coffee. And those little, what do you call? Oh, natas.
Yeah. The pastéis de nata, which are
pastéis de nata.
cream custard
They were
pastels.
invented right here in Lisboa.
Yeah.
But I had them up north today. I had one up north, and they just call them nata up there.
Yeah. They don't bother with many things anymore. Pardon?
The north is like the south
It's
in most places. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same in England for some reason. And you guys are in the same time zone as England.
Yeah, we are.
There's some correlation, I think, because as soon as you get to Spain, the south is like the south.
Yeah.
And the north is like the north.
Yeah, true.
But
Italy is the same.
Yeah.
For instance.
So I'm not sure what's going on there. I'll have
And
to do
France too, I think. France is also as is respectful of the usual dynamics between the north and the south, I guess, as well.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yep.
But
And
yeah.
yes.
What else is in the same time zone? I guess Morocco.
I don't know. I've never
maybe
been down
Morocco?
there yet. I'm going to get down there one day. It's on the list of things to do. Antonio.
Yes. It's on my list of things to do as well. I've never been to Morocco, and I want to go everywhere. Always, I want to visit everything ever. And Morocco is mostly desert, really. So there's kind of feels like home to you. Maybe maybe are you straying away from the desert sometimes or
Home.
home?
Doesn't even feel like home.
Oh.
Cordoba felt like home.
Oh. Okay. I've never been to Arizona, but that makes sense.
But I
guess.
just did a DNA test. And it came back yesterday and said I'm 99.5% European in origin. That's weird.
And
How'd
are
that
you?
happen? I don't know. It's a mystery to me. I'm relying on my spit.
Yeah.
That's how you test the
I
DNA.
know. and it's not everyone relies on their spit for knowledge. I guess some people do, but so are your parents actually? While you're on that subject, were your parents European?
I think their parents were European.
As most Americans, really.
But a lot of that information, is lost to me. So I haven't had much of because people died and shit. So I don't really know. But now I'm finding out with this DNA test.
Why did you? If it's not too much to ask. Oh, really?
Yeah, a friend of mine got it for me. So and I'm
very curious.
0.1% Iberian.
Oh, really? Okay, 1/10. So that means.
How did that happen?
So, I guess that means you're 1/10 Spanish or Portuguese or.
0.1%.
0.1%. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, yeah.
So it's like fractional. It's not even. It's not even 1%.
I guess.
10% of 1%.
One of yeah, sure.
It sounds like a one-night stand.
It sounds like someone made out with someone. I think
they had a beautiful night
in the early 700s or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, maybe the DNA kind of predicts the future.
Oh.
It just doesn't tell you about the past. Maybe it also. It's like the Ouija board of saliva.
Well, how so though?
We'll find out.
Sure. And the Ouija board. So I guess the point is that you should slobber all over a piece of wood and then maybe slice the glass all over it, and then you have your answer.
I'm telling you.
Not dwell on it. I guess. I understand.
It was a sweet attempt at comedic improvisation.
Yeah.
But you overshot the runway.
Well, you kind of. Okay. Yeah, I know.
You're young.
Yeah, it's true.
But you're doing it in front of thousands and thousands of people.
Hopefully.
20 or 30.
30.
Both of them.
Hi. Hello, one person. Hello, myself. No, I'm just joking, obviously. But
listen. You have to calm down.
Yes.
Because you'll see this later, and you'll go, "Oh, I'm too jittery. I'm nervous.
Always jittery. Yeah.
Oh, maybe that's your thing.
Yeah, it is my thing. No, don't worry. Yeah.
Okay.
I can chill, but usually I just enjoy doing these things. One YouTube comment was like recently this is awesome because this interview was positive because this interviewer seems like a very keen puppy. And I thought that was sweet, so I'll take that. No worries. I tend to drink a lot of coffee or drink a lot of beer before and after and during interviews. So while at festivals, so that's why I'm like this.
Well, I'm on a different clock.
Yeah, I know. I've spoken to you before, so I know that it's calmer.
As if I've already left. No. And you're just at this point shoving a mic up to my phantom vapor trail.
Well,
I'm gone. No.
No's over there.
But it's been fun.
Bye. No.
Was that 20 minutes?
I think it was like
you combined 2 dents, 20 minutes in about 2.
It's about, no, a little
try this for me now.
Yeah, tell me.
Well, I'm the sister, and I'm hyperactive.
Yeah, we're kind of hyper.
But you seem very calm.
Yeah. No, but I'm more mellow as a person than he is.
Yeah, but I'm not always like this. I can calm down. It's fine.
You don't have to. I'm just saying it'd be fun to try it on.
No, it's fine. Okay.
See, and that's why we're here in the South. This kind of energy is more frequent in the North of most places.
I'm sorry, which one?
The high energy.
High energy is more frequent in the South.
No, in the North of most places, but because this is opposite. When we were just talking about the North here, it feels like the South in most places.
Sure, yeah.
Or at least, we're the same with the UK. And in the North, people are kind of more on top of it, a little ahead of the beat. And in the South, people tend to be behind the beat.
Yeah. Yeah.
And see, right now, I'm using the powers I have to calm you down and slow you down, just to see if it feels okay for a minute, only a minute. And then you could spring back up.
No, it's fine.
North here in the South.
I can be chill as well, just like when I'm in work mode, like I try to be on. So it's kind of like almost a reflex now. But it's but yeah, I totally get what you mean. You know, in Portugal, I think the national pastime is drinking coffee and sinking in the sun. I would say, like, people just get together to do that. Well, so what are we doing? We're just grabbing a cup of coffee and doing not much else. And I'm not sure if like an international audience is aware of this, but if they've never been to Portugal, but that's kind of our thing. That's what we do, as you know, because you have friends over here. As I say. Yeah.
We were just talking about maybe it's time to move here.
Really?
Yeah, but I would get a place up north. Because it's more like the South.
Yeah, I totally get it. Have you thought of a place anywhere specifically?
Near Alveda, probably.
Oh, okay.
Maybe we were in Penino yesterday.
Really?
Or this morning. And that felt pretty good. It was small enough and slow enough, and you know, I don't know. It just felt, well, there's a lot of ocean.
Sure.
That'd be a nice change.
Yeah. And it's not far from Lisbon at all, so it's like 25 minutes maybe. Yeah. Penino, like near the...
It's 3 hours.
3 hours. Maybe we're talking about a different Penino, because there's a top of a Penino, because places, you know, names repeat themselves,
right.
You know. So I was thinking like the top of a hill, which is like near Sintra and Cascais over here in Portugal. So over here, I mean, around Lisbon, which is like 45
well, you
minutes.
probably can't go wrong anywhere around here.
Well, sure.
So
it's 45. I would say like tops an hour.
My wife is from Denmark, so my kids got dual citizenship. And if I'm 99.5% European, then
it's a shoe-in.
Yeah. And I just turned 60.
Oh, really?
A few weeks or 1 month ago. So now I'm ready for the next change, the big change. Sometime before death, to sink in to a different comfort zone. This might be the place. It's right on the edge.
It's right on the edge. Well, it is unless you're moving into Lisbon or the Algarve, or moving to Lisbon, or I mean into in the sense of the city vibe. Porto is a little also high strung, a little bit. Lisbon is incomparable, but the Algarve is usually, especially in the summer, by and far the highest strung place, because of all the tourism and all, because of everyone, the south, the south region, so the most southernest region. So because there's a lot of, I guess, well, British tourists, and everyone over there is kind of fed up of of them. But
British teens.
Yeah, drunk British teens causing havoc, and even though
they're desperate to get out of there.
Yeah,
have a little sunshine and a beach with actual sand.
Yeah, and some
Not rocks.
yeah, and not dreary weather.
They have giant sand up there on the beaches. It's those big pebbles. Anyway,
but your wife is from Denmark, but I'm pretty sure it's a safe bet that she's not high strung.
No, sir.
No, sir. Okay. It's okay. So one question about music.
Okay.
Now
we're done.
And then we're done. I promise. So, future standards.
Yeah.
Do you think that? There you go. Do you think that future standards will be What are the future standards that we're going to have apart from not music? So this is a is not a music question in disguise, actually. So you made those future standards musically.
Yeah.
But then we're gonna have some future standards.
No, they're substandard.
No, o só está ele está a apanhar. Tá, okay. Sorry.
That's cool.
I was just checking that you're in frame.
I'm slowly leaving.
Yes.
I can only speak about music as far as any other standard. I'm specifically talking about a genre of music that was called piano standards.
Yeah.
So nobody's writing like that anymore. So it was just a challenge to attempt it. It's like a dying art or a dead language. Nobody speaks it anymore. You can reverberate all the old standards, and that's fine. But you need three elements to write a standard. And the scientist in me experimented with the notion. And so that's what you hear now in this new album.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can talk about as far as standards.
Okay.
Otherwise,
because maybe we could be going a lot of different directions, but for instance on the Giant Sand thing, you had. I saw your Primavera show, by the way, and you guys were doing like these almost not mariachi, because that's very specific, but very Latin Mexican influenced, I guess, or at least the south of the. You were doing these arrangements that you weren't doing like. In the Glastonbury show I watched on YouTube, and it was very different, like 2 months apart or something. And so
if you paid close attention, you would notice that the personnel in the Glastonbury show was different than the personnel in the Primavera show.
Sure.
And that's because since 2010, in 2002 the band became Danish. And then in 2010, we took on a contingent back from Tucson, these younger guys. So we were a giant sand for a while, 10, 12 people. And then the last 2 years or so, we became only the Arizona guys. So now me and the Arizona guys, they're younger. The ages are 28, 33. Tue is from Denmark on bass, but he's been living in Tucson for 7 years. And now, what you didn't see is our original drummer from the first couple albums is playing with us, Winston, who's 55.
Okay.
And this band I love the Danes. The sound of the Danes was exceptional, and where they were coming from was from a very soulful, sweet, phenomenal place. And how they think and how they put things together and their appreciation, their aesthetics for the vintage instruments. It's really cool. And their playmanship is outstanding. With these guys now from Tucson, it's so much as if when I started, like these young guys in some way are of the same fiber and mentality as I was when I was their age. And the difference is only because we grew up there. We have this thing where, like, we know when we change something within the song, it doesn't have to be explained because we've been saturated with so many sounds of that area that we just go with it and we go off with these possibilities, and we all feel each other picking up on what whoever's putting it down. And so the communication is more instantaneous with the Tucson guys only because this is where we grew up.
Yeah.
Right? And with the Danish guys, it was something different. It was really cool and very satisfying, but it was different. It was a different flavor. So what you saw in Glastonbury was
that one I watched online, but I saw the Primavera show live. In person.
But the Glastonbury show was a one-off revisiting the Danish guys.
Oh, okay.
So, and what you saw at Primavera were, and it could be because, the two young guys in the band are Latino, Mex-American.
Yeah.
They're from the area, from the Sonoran Desert, Gabriel Sullivan and Brian Lopez. Maybe that had something to do with it, but it's just they exuberate a sonic prowess from their own neighborhood, how they grew up. And the guys in Denmark have something else going on. And I hadn't been playing with them. So they were going to help us out to do this Glastonbury gig because the guys from Tucson weren't going to be available then. It was like a week after, and they had to go home. So the Danes very kindly jumped aboard, and we gave it a shot, but we weren't together. And that's my fault for like being. Well, I wish it wasn't filmed, because then it's out there forever. Because we got the job done, but it wasn't like good enough. Our standard keeps getting better, and that wasn't quite of the standard where we were just really locked in, like at the Primavera show.
Yeah.
So, and when you get to be this age, and you don't lock in, you really feel the gravity of it. Like you can get through it, you understand what's happening, and it's only 45 minutes and all.
Yeah. But it sticks with you because you work towards it, right?
It's a magic. When you lock in, you get this magic. It's a vitality, and it's like a vitamin, and you feel like a kid again. I am 28 then again. This energy thing. Up until I see myself after in the mirror, and then I realize, no, I'm not. But whatever that thing is with music, it's kind of like a magic quality, and it's ageless.
Yeah.
And it's this energy, and it's an ancient energy, and when you tap into it like some ancient river, the water's always new, but the river's been there forever. So that's all. You saw the difference. That's kind of cool. You saw the difference.
Yeah, absolutely.
But if I were to quickly sum up, the Glastonbury show couldn't escape gravity.
Yeah.
It was a little bit lumbersome and slower, like just trying to, like everybody trying to remember in the band, and me trying to remember, oh yeah, we can't do this thing, and I can't go here because these guys we haven't been playing together for years. So I was like, okay, there's only one or two songs that we really pulled off strong, I thought. And the rest were near misses.
Oh, it felt fine to us. I just thought that they were very different shows to us, to me. Okay, it just felt very different because, like the Primavera show, Primavera has a special vibe. I've been going there for.
We achieved buoyancy.
Okay, buoyancy.
Gravity lost that round.
Okay, buoyancy is good. Okay, just a couple of things before we go. This person. Okay, sure. It's very just two things out of curiosity. Texting Feist, is this Leslie Feist?
Yeah.
Okay. And is the content available to the general public? Can we know what was going on? This is just, this is not gossipy.
It's verbatim in the lyrics.
I mean, yeah, but of course. That was stupid.
The chit chat between two friends. I met her in Barcelona, actually, with Chili Gonzalez 15 years ago. And I fell out of touch with her right before she started making her own albums. And then I ran into her about 2 years ago. And then we were just talking like old camping buddies or something. Just there was so much stuff to catch up on. And so we had continued to text each other for a while, and it was kind of cute. And when you talk to anybody after a while, you're going to start talking about the core of existence and your love life. You're gonna, because both of you have. It's just in the lyrics, exactly what was there in the lyrics.
Okay, I wasn't aware. So I was just like thinking that we were describing, but sometimes lyrics, you get the feel of a song, but when it's not your, even being proficient, not when it's not your native language, sometimes you kind of.
Oh yeah.
You kind of just leave it for a second thought, I guess. So I wasn't,
No, you're right. That's right, and I forget about that all the time when I'm over here. Because in Portugal, your English is, as in Denmark, is exceptional.
Oh, thank you very much.
But the rest of Europe, I never know how much they're getting in my lyric and my wordplay.
But even then, like, you kind of sometimes just like leave it for, or it might hit you immediately, or it might be something you kind of discover after a while. Yeah. But another thing is that you mentioned Leonard Cohen in the lyrics, and he just passed away. Have you spoken on it, and would you like to?
My friend wrote the book, his autobiography, I'm Your Man. Her name's Sylvie Simmons. And after that book is when I gained my appreciation. After reading the book is when I gained the appreciation I have for him. And that book blew my mind. I didn't realize most of that stuff. That there was a fella out there who took years before he would let a lyric go and apply it to song. And then for a full year, I only listened to him. I couldn't listen to anything else. Even the bad production from the late 80s, early 90s, I understood it. It was just used as a template. Even the unforgivable sax intro to There's No Cure for Love. A song like Alexandra Leaving, there's so much density of wisdom and poetic license in that song. It's not even fair to listen to that song straight through without stopping it about 30 seconds in and letting that digest. And once it has, then going in for another, hold your breath and go in for another 30 seconds and then take that in. It's so much song in such a perfect little compaction, made even more intense by both of them singing at the same time, which somehow makes it universal. It tells you everything you need to know about falling in love, falling out of love, how your mind reacts to it, the abstract tendencies, the things we tell ourselves. You could do a whole study on that song.
Alone, yeah.
So, through Sylvie, I followed her exploits when she was starting to write the book. She would send me tons of emails, and she was on the trail, and she went up to Montreal to visit his neighborhoods and his old friends. And I just got absorbed into his world and his masterful ability to construct something as precious as Alexandra Leaving. I mean, there's a ton of great songs, but that one, if only we can write a song like that once in our life. And he did it. He did it several times, many times, but that one. Anyway, sad to see him go, of course, but his timing was impeccable. His leaving was the only thing that got our mind off the elections. Everybody was so sick, physically ill from the elections. I spoke with many of my friends. We're all feeling this kind of a nauseous feeling throughout the day, realizing what had happened. And then he passed away, and it got everybody's mind off the elections for a moment where we could enjoy something so positive in this life and so brilliant, so inspiring, the exact opposite of what the elections had been. And it was almost as if, in his infinite wisdom or the timing of the sacred clock that plucks us when our moment is ready to be gone. Because this is just the larva stage.
Yeah, sure.
We're just in preparation.
Oh, absolutely.
And he was keyed in, and he knew, and it felt like he, more than most, would be celebrating the true buoyancy. Yeah, at this point. So it was sad that we don't have him, but we had him for so long, and he left us so much, way more than most.
We're thankful. So this is a show called Made of Things. So there's a thing for you to go check out right now. So bye-bye. Thanks, Howe. Thanks for your time. It's been lovely as always.
Yeah, it was good.
Thank you. And we did actually more than 20. So it's not that time matters, but it was all right? Thank you.